Great. Jean, question here from Buzz.
Hmm.
How complex is the accountancy in the exam? He's doing an engineering degree. How long would it take him to cover that aspect of the content compared to someone who has been doing an accounting degree? And as you start, I'm going to start putting up our Facebook group, for example, because I think that would be a great place for Buzz to start, to come into there, get a sense of the topics, have a look at it, and maybe even ask that question in the group. But your thoughts just from an engineering perspective into CFA?
Yeah, definitely join the Facebook group, Buzz. But I have lost count of the number of engineers, specifically engineers. There are a lot of engineers who do CFA. Remember, the typical role that you're filling, that you're looking to fill, linking to the last question, is an analyst role. Engineers, very often, by their predisposition, are analysts. They're problem solvers. That's another way of defining an analyst, right? As a problem solver. So we have many analysts, many engineers that do the course, but also many accountants that do the course. Now, I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it for you, Buzz, but the fact of the matter is, if you do not have an accountancy background, like I didn't, and you do the CFA, the accountancy is always the hardest. Right? Everyone struggles with the accountancy if they don't have an accounting qualification. So, but the thing is, Buzz, the vast majority of people that I teach are not accountants, do not have an accountancy qualification. So you won't be special for not necessarily having that accountancy qualification. But what I would do if I were you is I would specifically, if you do enroll in the CFA, start with the accounts, give yourself time and patience, have patience with yourself, and it just takes a bit of time. But I mean, if I can just share my screen quickly, Peter. Is it logged in? No, it's not logged in anymore for some reason. Okay, is it in? No, it's signed me out. Okay, so no, tell me. So the way that I teach accountancy, it's not debits and credits, it's not trial balances, it's not ledgers, it's not, I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine, do an accountancy qualification, right? And to be frank, that's why God invented accountants and bookkeepers. You're not doing that type of accountancy. You're not doing the accountancy from the perspective of being an accountant or being a bookkeeper. If you want to be a bookkeeper, do a course or hire someone to be a bookkeeper and pay them $20 an hour, right? Rather, what we're looking at it as, Buzz, is from the perspective of somebody who's analyzing a company, deciding whether or not you want to buy or sell that company's shares. You're trying to look at the final financial statements that an accountant gives you, the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flows, and you want to try and look through all of the accountancy nonsense, and there is a lot of accrual-based accountancy nonsense in accounts, and try to make sense of it from an investment perspective. So as you work your way through the levels, what we first do is learn what the accountants are doing, and then subsequently we say, well, what makes sense here? What is the economic reality? And we try and reconcile those two. It wouldn't come as a massive surprise to you, would it, that a lot of companies massage and manage those numbers, right? So we're trying to see through all of that nonsense and try to make an investment decision, looking at the financial statements. But there's no getting around it. You do have to do the accounts. But what I would say for you as somebody who absolutely hated anything accountancy related, doing the CFA for me was more interesting because it wasn't looking at it from debits and credits, trial balances and ledgers. It was looking at it from the perspective of somebody who's looking to make an investment decision, which is a totally different kettle of fish.